Hey everybody, and welcome back to Lindsay's Little Library. I am here today to talk about my book BuddyAthon wrap-up. So honestly, we had like the most perfect weather in Wisconsin for book BuddyAthon, especially for the weekend, because it has done nothing but torrential downpour rain. I drove home in hail yesterday. There's been sleet, there's a layer of ice on every single surface outside, and it's now snowing, and we're supposed to get like 8 inches of it. So honestly, couldn't have been more perfect timing for book BuddyAthon, but I'm really over it. So it is what it is. I approach this readathon a little bit different than I approach other readathons. Usually I start a book and I work at it as hard as I can until I finish it. This was a little bit different because I was kind of all over the board. The challenges for this readathon I will leave down below, but I really only completed a couple of them maybe. One of them was to buddy read a book, and I did do that. That is the one book I finished, and I buddy read the book Before We Were Yours by Lisa Wingate, and I read this with Sarah from Sarah's Nightstand, and oh my god, you guys, this book is amazing. 5 stars all around. So this follows the story of the Tennessee Children's Society. That's not right. That's gonna drive me nuts. The Tennessee Children's Home Society. I was close. So back in the like 1940s, 1950s, there's a woman named Georgia Tan, and what she did is basically she was a child trafficker. She would steal children from families, from adults, from single mothers, from whatever situation it is. Some of them were not the greatest situations, but most of the time they were just fine. They just happened to be poor. She had a judge basically in her pocket that was allowing things to happen, and she stole these kids and she would sell them to very prominent families, politicians, famous movie stars, musicians, usually out of state. She would change names. She would just basically, they'd be lost. So this follows the story of one family and what happens with them. There are multiple perspectives in this book. There's a dual timeline, so you have present day and you have 1939. All done very, very well. You could definitely tell when you were in a different character, when you were learning about their part of the story. There's a lot of developments that happen in this book that I think are very well timed. There's a really great relationship both within the family and the sisters, as well as a romantic relationship that I really, really enjoyed. A lot of really great lessons in here. I've already got a post-it in for one of them that I just adored this book. So I'm so glad I read it with Sarah. I can't imagine if I would have read this book by myself. It's like you need somebody to talk to, so I highly suggest reading it with someone else, or if you need somebody to talk to, come talk to me. Because it's just, there are times when it is heartbreaking, but there are times when it's just so peaceful and it's just lovely. So I had a really great time reading with this with Sarah. Buddy reading is so fun because you just get to have those conversations as the story develops, and you share with each other what you think is going to happen, and it's just a whole like process that you go to together. So it was really, really great, and thanks again, Sarah, for buddy reading with me. I really had a great time. So that's the one book that I finished. That's it. But I started a whole bunch of them. So, oh wait, no, I did finish another book, but I didn't start it during book BuddyAthon, but I technically finished it. But I read The One and Only Ivan by Catherine Applegate. This is the book I was reading with my daughter. We've been reading it for quite a while. If you're new to my channel, it's been months, but we finally got through this. I ended up just kind of maybe finishing the last part of it, so that's why the bookmark is still in it, because I still want to finish reading it to her, but I just need to know what happened. This is such a cute middle grade, maybe younger story about a gorilla named Ivan and his friend Ruby, who's an elephant. It's about friendship, it's about courage, it's about doing what's right for other people. It's really great, it's really sweet, really quick read. Definitely pick that up. So then the other books I'm working on, this was on my TBR for Book BuddyAthon. This is Defending Jacob by William Landay. Approaching halfway-ish for this. This follows a district attorney named Andy Barber, and he's given a case of a teen who was murdered in a park. Little does he know that shortly into the book, his son Jacob is accused of murdering this teen. So, interesting, definitely interesting. I was getting reports that I guess I had the impression it would be going a little bit faster than it is, so it's a little slow. It's a little bit too easy for me to put this down, but I am still really liking it. I have book club on Thursday, so I'm going to definitely finish it by then, but I do enjoy it so far. Then I picked up a book that wasn't on my TBR, but you know what? When holds come into the library, you jump on them. I am a big audiobook fan, and I have learned through my reading adventures that nonfiction books, I enjoy them more when they are in audio form. So I finally got my hold, or I got the hold came in, or whatever you call it, for Evicted, and I'm listening to this in audiobook. This is by Matthew Desmond. This follows, is it 14? No. It follows a number of families in Milwaukee, which I'm a fellow Wisconsinite, so it's very interesting when they refer to locations and street names and stuff. I can picture them having visited Milwaukee, but it follows a number of families in the 90s as they go through being evicted from their apartment. Now, there's various reasons why it's happening. We deal with various landlords, various situations, and it's really, really interesting. It's really interesting because it's almost like we as a society have some fault in this because of a number of reasons. It feels like people get stuck in a trap and they can't get out of it. Once you have one eviction, your choices of where to go next are very limited, and most likely you're going to get evicted again. Sometimes you have to make decisions. Do I feed my family or do I pay the rent? Do I fix the car that gets me to my job that pays me money, or do I pay the rent? I can't fathom that, and I'm so blessed that I don't have to fathom that, but so interesting, and I'm loving it so far. About a quarter-ish of the way through. The narrator's fantastic, and I should know the narrator's name. Gotta get better at that, Lindsey. But it's really good. Definitely an audiobook, but we're gonna finish that up soon. Then, I picked up, because I need to read it, for the Deadly Divas book club. Their live show is coming up this Saturday night, April 20th, 21st, something like that. I'll leave a link below to the Goodreads group for the Deadly Divas book club. Sarah from Sarah's Nightstand is going to host it. Lisa from Books and Smiles also hosts it, but they are reading The Secret Mother by Shalini Boland for April. So I started this. I have learned that when I work out, if I'm going for like a shorter run, not a big deal, but if I go for a longer run and I have time where I want to walk for a while, I've actually been bringing my Kindle with me. I mean, I jack up the font like ridiculously. You can't see it, but it's huge. And it actually kind of makes the time go by. So that's why I started that one on here. And yeah, that's what I got through. I did read one book, well, two. I finished another book during Book BuddyAthon, but I really got very into and dedicated to some really fabulous books and fabulous stories this week, and I had a ton of fun buddy reading with Sarah. So as far as challenges go, I believe one challenge was friendship. Ooh, this would totally fit that challenge, because the friendship between Ivan and Ruby, and Ivan and Stella, is that the other elephant's name? There's nothing like that, so that's definitely achieved. There was, what was the other one? I know the other one was new, and so I'm going to claim this because it's one of my newer books, was new. And I think that's kind of all that I really hit. So, oh well, I had a great time. I love doing it. I'm definitely going to do this again. Buddy reading is something I am totally up for. So if anybody out there is interested in buddy reading a book, and I happen to have something on my TBR, or you see me haul it or whatever, leave me a comment. I'm totally up for it. It'd be a great time. So let me know if you have read any of these books and you want to chat about them, if you participated in Book BuddyAthon and how you did in the comments below. Otherwise, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.